Welcome to episode 9 of the Laced Up Show. This is a show all about sneakers and sneaker news. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-host, Landon, and we have another fun episode for you guys today. And we're going to be diving in with something a little controversial, but it's also a follow-up from the previous article last week. But Vans and Supreme parent company, VF Corp, will also start firing unvaccinated employees. So VF Corp is the parent company of the popular brands of Vans, Supreme, Timberland, and the North Face, and they all have come out and said that they are firing unvaccinated employees. So VF Corp employees were notified via email as soon as January 31st that unvaccinated employees would be terminated without severance. Now, there have been some backlash at VF Corp's decision. Last month, some employees at even Vans headquarters stood in protest from this decision. So landed first Nike, now Vans and Supreme and others. Do you think other large corporations are going to follow, and who do you think is going to be next?
I mean, it's looking like it. I mean, whenever you have a company that big, we kind of talked about it a little bit off air that you can kind of afford to make your own decisions. It's not really like government regulated to a certain extent. It's more kind of individually enforced. So, I mean, we talked about the Nike one. We put that video out and it got a lot of, this is a very opinionated topic and we stay neutral. We're just kind of bringing the information. We definitely don't pick a side, this or that. But as far as like your question is, are other people going to do it? I think it's pretty obvious that it's going to start to happen because I feel like especially we haven't heard anything about Adidas or New Balance or that stuff yet, but it's got to be coming. Like, because how does it look to not enforce it, or do you have a different set of guidelines at the top? Because who's really pulling the strings on that decision?
Well, it's definitely corporate. I mean, there's nothing.
Exactly.
There's no government.
And not all corporate leaders are the same. Right. Everyone's going to have different personalities, different beliefs.
Right. So
what if someone's like not anti-vax? I don't even want to say that, but like what if someone's against, the COVID mandates or the vaccine mandates, to where maybe they do just say, hey, it's up to you if you're vaccinated or not, this and that. I'm assuming there's got to be some type of mask regulation if you're unvaccinated, I would imagine.
I don't know. I think it's all up to the business discretion. But so are you going to lock in that you think Adidas is going to come out next? We're going to hear it next week?
Yeah. I mean, you said, because it was right after we did the Nike one. Yeah. And like a day later, it was like Supreme is doing this. And then I didn't even know about, all the other, I guess.
It's
Supreme,
all one company.
All one company. So I guess that would make sense. So it's probably going to happen. I side on the, wanting people to be safe, but that looks different for everyone. You can't say get the vaccine so you're safe. It'll make you safer. You can fight the symptoms better. And then someone's like, I don't know what's in that vaccine. I know that if we want to spin it and keep it like in the world of sports, Kyrie's the biggest topic that, revolving that whole decision. He literally sat out not getting the vaccine, can't play in New York because, he wants to, I guess it was like to speak for the people that don't have that opinion or that platform. Now, he eventually came back because you start to realize that if you're not on that bright stage, you just stop talking about him. Like, he didn't have the same influence that he could have if he was out there playing, so he decided to come back and play part-time. They brought him back part-time. Now he can kind of still use his platform. I've even heard rumblings that he may get the vaccine. So kind of what is it that changes your mind? Like, if someone hasn't gotten the vaccine at this point, don't you just have to almost accept that? Or what's really going to make you change your mind? Or how do you even look now? If you're like, hey, you got to get the vaccine. It's like, oh, I stood my ground to this point, but now I'll get it. Like, what changed? What changes other than, like if it's your job and it's your literal like life?
Yeah,
to be able
I don't know.
to
I mean, I think it's just personal independence. I mean, if it just comes up to, if they've seen enough facts or enough evidence, and they can make that personal decision.
There's so many different sources of info out there. It's like, where are you getting it from?
Right.
I've heard it. Like, I heard the analogy. It's like some people watch Fox, some people watch, NBC, different forms of news, and whoever, like, you could watch Fox and say CBS is the worst. But if you watch CBS and you think Fox is the worst, but you're both believing two different things, and only one of them can be true. Either one of them is true or neither is true. Right. But either way, you're committing to one thing. So it's like,
it's tough.
Where are you getting your information from? Like, oh, I'm getting my information from Joe Rogan, like Aaron Rodgers says. It's like, I'm getting my information from Joe Rogan. Dr. Fauci doesn't really know anything. It's certain things like that. And it's like, it's you see people say like you're undercutting the people that have, studied these infectious diseases and all these different things like that their whole life, just for someone to say, oh, I don't think the vaccine's real and I don't think it works and stuff like that. And that's just, obviously I don't really have an opinion. I think everyone should be able to choose. I don't love the idea of like mandating something, but if the information's out there, like sometimes you just got to figure out, is someone just trying to avoid it?
Right. Yeah,
Or
it's
not? I mean,
it's definitely tough. It's definitely I'm sure we are gonna. This is not the last of
no,
what's coming
it'll
from
be
this.
it'll be popping up more.
Yeah, I'm sure other businesses are gonna go. But Landon, what do we got next?
All right, we're gonna switch off that. Go to something a little more sneaker related now. So, Clot and the Nike Dunk High is set to release a new shoe in 2022. So, Edison Chin's Clot label has teamed up with Nike Sportswear to release a special edition Clot and Nike Dunk High collaboration in 2022. This offering, the Nike Dunk High, features a holographic metallic silver upper paired with a translucent TPU overlay, a gray satin sock liner, and a perforated toe box with some exposed stitching throughout. So, Clot and Nike brand is going to be showing up on the tongue. Co-branded insoles with a white rubber outsole is going to complete the entire design. That pretty much gives you everything. But I don't know if you've seen the photo of this shoe yet. It's pretty glossy. So, what are your thoughts about this design?
I don't know, man. Clot and they just have weird collabs, and they always seem to miss.
This is one of the more simple looks from Clot,
and they're always late. They're always late. A Dunk High, gone. Should have done this
2
like
years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Would have been perfect. Right now, you can't
They
even
were
tell.
late to the Sakai Blazer
I know
too.
they're late.
To
They're
the
always
Sakai,
late.
the Sakai waffle.
Did you say there's translucent TPU overlays?
Yeah.
So is that the toe box? You think?
Yeah, I'm
The toe box
assuming.
is clear.
Yeah, it's like metallic.
it's
I
the
don't know
same
how much
thing.
it'll be, because that's kind of their theme.
Right.
In the Sakai waffles, you would
Right.
get the see-through toe
Yeah,
box.
it's all.
Same thing. They had an Air Max 1
Yep.
that had the seat, and that was like that struck out.
Yeah.
It looked so cool to look at, and then it was just like not wearable.
I think this is another not wearable shoe. I think Clot missed it again. You need to step away from the the translucent. No one's really feeling it. Hopefully, these are just some of the shoes that were already in production. They're just coming out late because of COVID, and they've fixed their idea because I don't know. Clot's losing some hype. I don't know. I remember first hearing about Clot, and it was the hype of the hype. Now it's just you can't even tell it's a Clot shoe.
No, I think that's part of the problem sometimes is that, and then like you had the Clot, it was collabing with like Sakai, and then like the Clot would just be the colorway, but
Yeah.
Sakai would get more of the branding.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see a lot of Clot stuff on there. I think it was like the same way for the Air Max. It's like you only knew it if you knew what the shoe was.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like, oh, it's just a really funky Air Max.
Yeah.
It's not like reverse Travis Scott swoosh. It's not like Pata Air Max wave line.
Right.
It's not like different stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from. The point where they're always late to the party is so true. Like the Sakai LD Waffle was an absolute hit 2 years ago. Like they dropped that black and white colorway. I wanted them so bad.
Yeah.
And now they're like $800.
Yeah.
These, where are they? We don't even got them back here right now. We got those Sakai undercover ones that just released that we got for the LD Waffle.
Some are like under retail.
I think they're under retail
Yeah.
in some sizes.
It's-
It doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
And it's a clean shoe. Honestly, I love the LD Waffle. It's like I just got a pair of the Sakai. Was that a Clot one?
I don't think that was a Clot.
No, what did I just get? It was the
Cool,
Sakai
cool
and the
gray.
it was the cool gray ones.
Something cool.
Yeah,
Fragment.
No, it wasn't Fragment.
Oh.
Actually, low-key, it might be Clot. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but the LD Waffle's really cool. The design's not bad, but like you said, I mean, it's just like it'll be one of those that would be really cool to get in hand, but it's not like a shoe. It's like not even going to be anywhere in the topic of like shoe of the year or anything like that.
Not even
And Clot
close.
doesn't have a lot of shoes come out, so I just feel like you could maybe, I don't know.
I feel bad for Clot, man, because if they don't step it up, they're gonna lose it.
They're gonna lose
they're
it.
gonna
I mean,
lose because Nike's gonna be like,
They'll
hey,
sell out and they'll sell out and they'll resell. You know that, but like it actually,
Barely.
it might depend on the retail price now, especially with eBay's fees officially kicking in.
it's gonna be tough.
Like all the platforms are kind of on like a common ground almost now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too fond of this shoe, but moving on, we got another NFT article for you. So sneaker NFTs are now available on Stockx. So the secondary marketplace announced that they are launching the Vault NFTs, which is where users can invest in non-fungible tokens that are linked to an actual physical sneaker counterparts. Now, according to Stockx, the owners of the NFT are also owners of that specific sneaker and what they call the sneaker vault. The vault stores the sneakers in a climate-controlled room, and each sneaker having a unique serial code that is linked to that NFT. So some of the sneaker NFTs include like the Ama Meniere Jordan 3s, like we got back there, the Ben and Jerry Dunks, and then like the Bad Bunny Adidas Form Lows. So Landon, what are your thoughts on StockX's approach to this NFT?
First off, you'd be proud of me. I took some time and watched the video breaking down what NFTs are,
Yeah.
and I have a slightly better grasp on what they are.
I'm proud of you.
Like I like how the photo isn't important, but it links you to a certain like token, and the token is what you use. So like you can screenshot the photo. The photos
Yeah.
are cool, the Bored Ape photos,
Yeah.
and different stuff like that. But it links to you, and you need to have that certain thing to access certain things across the web.
Right.
So I thought that was really cool. But I guess StockX sells everything.
Yeah.
StockX literally sells everything. It's crazy because I know there was a huge just uproar and backlash whenever they started selling PlayStation 5s.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, because that is the place to sell PlayStation 5s. You don't got to pay shipping. You don't got to do any of that. All you do is lose the fee. You sell them on eBay, $80 a ship. You sell them anywhere else, $80 a ship. You sell them on StockX, a $20 processing fee. And that's it. So StockX is they just sell everything. They sell all the cause stuff. So I'm not surprised that they're doing it. We kind of talked about how it's going to look, like what the process will look like, because you said the shoes like stay in a sneaker vault. So what the process is of getting that shoe to you, to sending it back, to like just how that all works. Because we even had talked about like doing our own sneaker vault at a point in time where people would send us their shoes, we keep them for them.
Yeah.
Whenever they want them, we send them back. It's
Yeah.
just like a little sneaker storage place, which maybe just get a bigger house or stack them up. I don't know
Get
why.
a bigger house.
I would never like send my shoes to someone. Just like I just find that a massive inconvenience. Like I just don't even want to go to the post office ever. Like let alone I'm gonna go drop off my shoes that I'm gonna eventually get back. So that's what I see within this. They sold out like quick on StockX, right? Like they were just gone, and there was limited,
super limited, super
stock.
limited. Yeah, it was definitely like a test. I mean, some of them are going for like people are putting asks at like $100,000.
If you bought that, who's gonna sell that right now? That's only gonna go up. Who's gonna sell that right now unless they release more of the same shoe with that NFT,
right?
I would imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I personally, when I heard this article, I think it's a genius move by StockX. I mean, can you imagine you buy some sneakers, you put them in a closet, and then you just sell the digital version, and then you just make commission off a digital one while the other one just sits on the shelf like this. It's just chilling there. Genius move by them. I am curious to see. Right now it's more, buying and selling the sneakers that they have bought. I wonder if moving forward, like, are we going to be able to send in a pair and vault it and then sell that NFT?
Yeah. I didn't really thought about the reverse process of it, like how easy is it to NFT a shoe? Right.
Are we going to be able to digitize it that way? Another thing also is like, how does it work in regards to what is it like? Selling it. Like we were talking about how it works.
If you get the shoe, right? Here's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Like, you get the shoe, you wear it, you send it back. Is that an option? Send it back.
No,
but now
I
that
don't think
shoe's
so.
not in new condition anymore.
Right. I think it's
and they
ruined.
don't deal with used shoes.
Yeah.
So you take that shoe. It's like a one-time takeout. So if you take that shoe out, what is the
gone.
NFT?
It's probably gone.
You
forever.
just have a digital copy of the NFT. But what is that? Like Okay, so I watched the video, and I guess I'm like 1% caught up to speed because the other 99% it's just out there.
I mean, it's changing
it's a
every
new
single
thing.
day. Yeah,
it is a new thing, but it's definitely interesting. StockX is probably just like they probably don't even know what's going on, but they're like, we can get into it.
Yeah,
we'll dive into it head first, and we'll learn what an NFT is later.
Yeah,
if it's sellable, we'll sell it.
I think it's a really cool play. What kind of worries me about it though is why is Nike not knocking at their door and going, hey, where's our cut? The shoe is actually our shoe. So, like, I wonder if they have a deal with Nike saying, like, hey, we're going to digitize your shoe, but, like, it's your shoe. So, does Nike get a cut of it? Like, is Nike happy about this? Are we going to see, like, Nike sue StockX for digitizing shoes? Then So that's where I'm
I'm of the mindset,
confused.
and this is us, upstairs in a little place, not having a lot of money, where it's like, Nike, really, you care that much about about them, like skim,
NFT sells for 100 grand,
yeah.
and you make 10
And
percent.
they make that per point millisecond
I know,
every
but
day. So it's just like that's just the
it's a
way that I
snowball
see
effect.
it. Is a snowball effect, I'm sure.
Because then, I mean, what's us stopping, digitizing this one and be like, hey,
Well, we can't do that. We don't know how. We were just saying that we don't know
just
how
take
to
a
do
photo, make an NFT.
Really?
Yeah.
I have actually in the video I watched, there's like a lot of scamming going on with NFTs right now. Like you
it's
got to be
really
so
scary.
careful.
Really scary. But
Yeah.
I think it's I guess Fresh put it right on the spot. Big brain moves from Stockx for sure.
They never if there's something sellable, I'll stand by that. If you can sell something, they're gonna sell it.
Yeah, but
That's
moving
just what they
on,
do.
Landon, what do we got next?
All right, so this one's pretty cool. So Discord teams up with Collegeum for their first ever sneaker collab. So Discord is one of the most significant social hubs in existence, especially with the pandemic keeping people indoors. And it's soon to receive their very first collaborative sneaker thanks to Collegeum, an Orange County-based outfit known for their use of premium materials. So this collaboration builds atop the footwear's brand's signature Pillar Destroy High, applying a colorway inspired by the Discord mascot Wumpus. Alongside hits of dark and light gray suede, the upper is accented with touches of purple and a nod to the character's fur. Its green leaf is also represented in the way of a heel tab, which is easy to miss, much like the logo that is debossed into the heel. So, honestly, first off, how do you like the look of this shoe? And then also, what do you think about Discord getting its first collaborative sneaker?
One, do I like the shoe? I mean, it just kind of looks like a Nike knockoff. There's nothing really unique about the shoe, but I really do like the Discord collab that comes with it.
Premium materials.
Premium materials on a fake sneaker.
It's not.
I
know,
but like literally, it's like a silhouette. I don't know. Every time I see a shoe like this,
we're
I always
not well versed in that. We're very hype oriented, dunk high, Jordan high stuff.
Does it not look like a dunk high or a Jordan 1 high without a swoosh? You got to give me some credit there.
I mean,
it looks like a logo should be where it should be.
I feel like everything kind of looks like everything.
I mean, all I'm saying is just like I get it. It's tough to make a fashionable sneaker, and Nike really hit it out of the park with their silhouettes. But I don't know. I just feel like even with premium materials, at least they added premium materials compared to Nike, where you're gonna get some cheaper materials on their shoes. But it just I don't know.
You would have liked to see Discord actually go with someone like Nike or Adidas or something for their first collab.
I agree. I think so. I think that'd
be
really
super
cool.
limited. I think it's like
it's like 300 pairs or something.
I think it was like 2,000. I think it was a
3,000.
little more, but it's gonna be available through like Collegium's Discord server, which is kind of cool. It's like through a giveaway. That should be. It's coming up like on the 28th, so it's in like a week from today, I think. So I think the sneaker is really nice. Like the shoe is going to be so clean.
I think the colors are cool.
The colors,
I love the collab.
Is so nice.
I just think they could have done something more with the actual model, but I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't know how much Collegium's actually in the sneaker game. Are they really manufacturing them, or they're just contacting these manufacturers, and those manufacturers can only make so many different shoes?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think that it's cool that they're getting their first one. You got the little Discord, the little Wumpus guy on the back of it. I think that's pretty hilarious because, that's our. We use Discord a lot. I didn't even know what the Discord mascot was.
Really?
What's a Wumpus?
It's whatever. They made it up.
They made it up. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a little alien.
I think it would be really cool to get one of these in just to, because then like if you're walking around, only people that use Discord would know what that shoe is. So I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I know. And with such a limited pair, it's going to be like, I wonder, I'm sure it'll pop up on resale markets. I haven't really seen it out there yet.
eBay.
But it is
I wonder how they're going to authenticate it though.
I mean, in your defense, it's called, who's going to make replicas of that? I guess probably someone.
Depends on the number. If it goes for $2,000.
I'd buy a replica of that. No, actually, because if you get that shoe, you probably want the premium details. I feel like if you're doing it with a really nice brand, it's going to be like really tough to replicate high quality stuff for a low price. We just got a comment saying our wall clock's really good. I know. I like that. I got that as a Christmas present too. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's easier to knock off like an Air Force or something like that and make it not look bad. But with the different, like you can see the different patches of stuff that they're going to use. I feel like it's going to be tough to just replicate that to a T.
I mean, people replicate Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all the high fashion brands.
That's true.
I think this is just another brand. I wouldn't be surprised if fakes do come out. But
Might have to snag one.
I
Get
don't
back
know.
into the fake game. I've
I
been
don't
out of it
know.
for a while.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever step in that. But moving on, we're going back to another metaverse / NFT news article. This one is about New Balance. So New Balance is now getting into the metaverse game. So the Boston-based sportswear giant filed for 3 different types of trademarks on January 13th, and that will allow their products to be used in the metaverse. So now there is actually no news as to yet what New Balance has planned, but Landon, what do you think if they're going to digitize a shoe or into an NFT? What do you think New Balance will digitize first?
They have select models to go from. You
Think a
can't
992.
digitize the dad New Balances. So you're looking at
The OG?
992, 997s.
You think they're going to go hype first?
327s. I think you almost have to.
Kawhi Leonard,
You have to
NFT.
be like the first basketball shoe to get digitized.
Well, they've done Steph. Steph Curry's got one.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm talking.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm
I guess
surprised
Steph
LeBron
Curry did
hasn't.
get one.
But maybe they
I don't know.
have.
Yeah, I wonder. That's got to be on the way. But we haven't really talked about Nike into the metaverse aside
They're the latest. They're the last one that hasn't really officially. They were the first ones to
ones on the
acquire a
scene, right?
company.
Like the Roblox thing.
Yeah,
right?
they were first ones to kind of dip their toe in. They acquired a company, and then it's been ghosting from ever since. And then Adidas came out with stuff, and then Under Armour came out with stuff.
Adidas legit dropped their NFT.
Yeah, theirs was like the first OG drop.
and that drop was just so bad.
Yeah, and then Under Armour came.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't know. But, staying back to New Balance, what's the model you think they're going to digitize first?
I think they could do a 327. 327s are really nice. They even have collabs
The
on
Casablancas?
327s, and but they have an Atmos collab coming soon this year. So I mean, we do have that to go off of. The 327's got to be the model, maybe the 997. I'm trying to think of some of the other 992.
What about
There's popular
who's
ones
the-
out there. Like
who's
what
the-
about like a Stray Rats collab that they have? Those New Balance Stray Rats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the
Who's the-
Fresh Goods, Joe Fresh Goods, the stuff like
Um,
that.
Jaden Smith, right?
Okay, yeah, the Vision Racer is kind of cool. I actually do want a pair of those.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. If I ever get money, I'm gonna get a pair of those. Man. No, that's a really cool shoe. Whenever that's the thing. Like that's why I'm always in love with the new models that come out that I actually like. Like I gotta find a way to get them because I could get. Otherwise, I'm just gonna buy the next cool Jordan 1 High.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna buy the next cool Jordan 1 Low. I'm gonna buy the next cool Yeezy. But I have those. It's like I don't have any 237s. I want those Casablanca ones we have downstairs. I'm still not willing to pay for.
327s.
No,
Is it?
237s.
Is it 237s?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know
thought it
why
was
they did that. It's a
327s.
little confusing, but I want those 237s. The Vision Racers are really cool with Jaden Smith.
Yeah,
He's
shout
got
out
some.
to him, man, because that came out of nowhere, and it's a completely different model, which is really hard to do, especially because Nike. Nike really doesn't do that with their collabs.
For us, New Balance, I don't want to say it's for the older generation, but I think it's for the just older generation than us. Like the 30-year-olds, they really see, because people love those New Balance 990s or whatever, the ones that Joe Fresh Goods has come out. It's the Stray Rats,
Yeah.
dude. I really think they look bad, really bad. I couldn't wear them for whatever reason. I just don't think they look good. I'm sure they're comfortable. All New Balance shoes are comfortable.
Right.
If I guess maybe not all of them, but all New Balance shoes that I own, which is 2 pairs, are comfortable. So I mean, there is a window out there for it.
So you're gonna lock in the
I would
237s
say
for the first
327s.
digitized.
You'll
327s.
get
Oh,
that
the
wrong
237s. All right.
The 237s aren't quite as hype, but
Gotcha.
they're nice. They're nice, just not quite as hype.
Gotcha. All right, moving on. What do we got next, Lando?
All right, so this is kind of building off of your article last week, but the Louis Vuitton and Nike Air Force One collab is actually set to release via Sotheby's auction with limited stock. So the highly anticipated release of Virgil Abloh's Louis Vuitton Nike Air Force One Low will kick off next week via an exclusive auction on Sotheby's. So this renowned auction house confirmed that only 200 pairs of this will make a debut, and it's going to be pictured down below, but you guys are going to have a hard time seeing that. But they're going to be available through this auction for only 200 pairs, like I said. And this is an exclusive colorway for the Louis Vuitton Air Force One that's going to feature some premium leather upper. It's going to be donning a combination of the fashion label's iconic monogram and damier patterns. So these sneakers will come packaged in an orange Louis Vuitton Pilot case that will be available only through this auction. So the little
suitcase.
box that it comes in,
Yeah.
the suitcase, is so sweet. So there's actually like plenty of colorways kind of surfacing for this Virgil Abloh like Louis Vuitton Air Force. Like I saw recently like a black pair, an orange pair, a blue pair, and those, it sucks because, or I guess it doesn't suck. It is what it is, because it's his own sneaker and they're going to be released mostly for friends and family in those colorways. So we're not totally sure what the ones that might release to the public are, because that was like, I feel like the public's general consensus was
Yeah.
like you were gonna have a shot for them like the Dior Jordan 1s or something. But before I get any deeper into this collab, let me know your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I love this collab. I think it's definitely one of the probably best sneaker collabs of 2022, and it's only January.
That's what we talked about.
And it's an amazing collab, and I think it's just, it's sad because this is this is Virgil's last work
Last
on
Dance.
it, but also like what a kind of a great way to go out with this type of collab, because man, like people are gonna be seeing. I can't imagine seeing this pair like walking on the street, someone wearing them. I will be shocked. I'd love to get one in hand, but so I'm super excited, and hopefully that actually comes true and we do get one in
Yeah,
hand.
so it looks like the proceeds from this are going to be benefiting the Virgil Abloh Postmodern Scholarship Fund.
Oh, that's super
and
cool.
that's to support black fashion students, which is a really cool thing. I'm glad that they're doing that. All the proceeds are going to go to that fund. And it's honestly, right now, it's estimated that each pair from the auction is going to sell between $5,000 to $15,000. So it's most likely going to depend on the size and stock. So like the sizes like 5, 5.5, 16, and 17 are only going to have one pair. Those only have one pair available whenever they hit the auction. Multiple other sizes have 2 pairs. I think the most is like around like an 8 or a 9 has like 20 pairs available.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like just imagine you see someone with a super small foot wearing the shoe. If it's, first off, it's a whole new discussion. Do you ever put that shoe on your foot?
No.
Or does that go straight to a trophy
No,
case?
that's an art. If it comes with that briefcase and everything, no, it's an art piece for sure.
Can you imagine having that displayed?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we got one? It would have to be available first off, because of
Yeah.
course we're not going to be able to bid up $5,000 to $15,000.
You don't think so?
I know
I can
so.
pull some strings.
No, you couldn't. It's like very exclusive. I can't remember exactly what you have to do to become eligible to bid on the auction. But can you imagine having one of those in hand?
Oh, I would
The
never be
shoe
able to
is
wear
so nice.
it. I would love to see it.
It's the brown
I don't think I'd
colorway,
ever
and it's
wear
just like so. I mean, I don't really like brown shoes, like at all. And it's
But
just,
it's that Louis Vuitton.
it's that like Louis Vuitton.
Yeah,
just
like the
glazed
bag.
brown,
I mean,
the-
it's definitely the
bag
height of
alone.
luxury.
Didn't Louis Vuitton release like a super dope Xbox too? Or am I thinking Gucci?
Gucci
the
Xbox.
Gucci Xbox.
Man, it is really cool what
Some high fashion.
these
brands are
super
doing.
high fashion brands, they just come out and they know how to do it right, man, because they just go like, they'll just like, you know what, we'll do a collab here, we'll sprinkle a little collab, and people just go nuts for it, and do another one here. I think it's super. I mean, I don't get it. I honestly don't get the whole high fashion thing, but man, they make some really nice collabs.
I don't get it either, man. You go to the mall and there's just people waiting outside of like the Gucci stores and the stuff like that, and I'm just like, what is it? The one that I really don't get. I swear it was Louis Vuitton. Like whenever I go to the mall and there's just people waiting outside. I can't remember exactly what the name of it is, but it's always just a line. It's the mall, dude. There's like 100 people in the mall, and 80 of them are waiting to get into this store. I'm like, there's just no way. It looks okay. The stuff looks okay. The shoes look whack. The shoes look very whack.
I don't know. I don't know.
Balenciaga and stuff like that. Like I've never gotten on Balenciaga before.
I'll never understand it. We've talked about it before on and off camera. I'll never understand it. I think the only way to really understand it is to just
have enough money to
just buy
do it.
one.
I
Just
feel
to
like,
buy
yeah,
one
what we
and be
always
like,
talk about.
oh, I get it. I get it now.
I don't think I get it. What we always talk about is like, I think you just have to have too much money sitting around. Or no. Like if you were gonna go somewhere where people are gonna know what you're wearing.
Right.
Like, oh,
Is
he's
it all
got
a
some
status
Gucci.
thing? I don't know.
It's gotta be. That's kind of what it gets to whenever you get up to that point, because the lower priced fashion brands, not knock off, but make similar looking stuff to the higher quality stuff.
Right.
But it's just not the same thing.
Right.
So, and that's literally kind of what it comes down to. It's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, back to the whole collab, man. I would love to get one in hand. I think that would be an amazing.
Easily in the running, even though it's early. It's easily in the running. It's one of those shoes
I'd be
that
shaking.
it's gonna get down
I'd
to
be shaking to touch it.
Well, if we're talking like shoe of the year, like we talked about this off cam too. Like once you get to like December, you forget everything that happened from January to May.
It's gonna be hard to forget about this shoe.
This one's gonna linger.
Yeah,
of course, especially with the tragic passing of him. Like it's just gonna be out there.
Yeah,
dude's gonna live on forever.
I know, hopefully. But speaking of crazy shoes, sneaker company Renz creates sneakers from coffee waste. So this Helsinki-based footwear firm Renz has created a waterproof sneaker made from coffee waste and recycled plastic bottles. So in an attempt to lessen the environmental impact using coffee grounds, which just in Finland can be over 14 million tons every year, a pair of Renz first generation shoe contains 300 grams of coffee waste, which is equivalent to about 21 cups. And currently the price for these shoes are around $96 in euros. So Landon, do you think you're going to be able to wear these coffee sneakers? Is this something that you would ever wear?
This is
I think
definitely
it's a cool design.
Interesting. It's kind of a cool design. It's definitely like not flashy. It's gonna look
minimal.
like a basic. There's not like any branding on it. I don't even see Renz branding on it.
So
is that the Renz? Is that the Renz like
the hashtag?
Hashtag is that their? Is
that's
that their?
That's their logo. The Renz. So it's like right on the top of the upper.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. It's just kind of pasted on the upper. So it looks like a sock kind of fit. Doesn't even have laces on it.
Nope.
The design looks pretty cool. I wonder how comfortable it would be. You have to love that's every single brand has to do this or die. You have to start getting on the using recycled content in your sneakers, in some of them in some form. Or it's like I guess it wouldn't make a huge difference, but if you don't, you're missing out on all the people that are. Because I have to imagine, would it not make a shoe cheaper to create by using recycled waste? By using recycled content from a sneaker, like that's what we talked about whenever the Space Hippies first came out for Nike. It's leftover cuttings from an upper. It's leftover outsoles from this shoe. It's left. So is that not reusing stuff you junk, and now you're putting it into a shoe, and it's got to make the shoe half as expensive to make?
Well,
because now you're using recycled stuff that would have just gotten dumped. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda. So it's more about the process of getting that waste into an actual viable product. Like that's where I was surprised with this coffee shoe is, it still costs 96 euros, which is, probably like 100, 110, 120 bucks an American. And it's, coffee and water bottles. So like,
is this a popular brand overseas?
I don't think so. I think it's a pretty new shoe company. They did a fundraising on one of the Kickstarters. Yeah, but they raised like a good amount of money to start it. But I don't know. I think that process of using that raw material waste and converting it into a shoe is still pretty costly. So I understand why it's so high, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be actually cheaper or not.
I do like how it tells you kind of like what different pieces of recycled content is going where into the shoe. You can kind of see it just all across the design. I wonder if it smells like coffee.
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy.
That would be kind of crazy.
Renz,
it's not going to smell like coffee forever, though.
Send it over.
It's not going to smell like coffee forever.
Man, wouldn't that be a refreshing smell, though?
That would be so good. Man. I hate coffee. Love the smell. It's like,
I love coffee.
I know.
The smell.
Yeah, I know.
It's so good.
You're always making coffee downstairs right next to me. It just heats me up. But it's a pretty cool design. I'd like that you're doing it. Like they're doing it. Like I said, a lot of brands are starting to do that now. Like try and use recycled stuff. I personally think it has to give you some type of benefit for like cutting cost, which would make me imagine that you'd make the shoe a little bit cheaper in general.
I would hope so. But
I guess,
still, I mean, 120 bucks for.
Yeah.
I mean, it says 100% recycled upper, so it's like, dang, man, like how much did you really use to make that upper? Because it's, I don't know.
Yeah, Fresh is talking about a shoe you can smell would be dope. I'm just saying, how long until that shoe smells like your foot? Your
Probably
foot can't
like
smell
the fourth
good.
Time.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, ooh, this smells like coffee. Take it off next day. That smells like coffee. Take it off the next day. You're like, ooh.
Each one's got a little bit of a bite to it.
Yeah, it's like, it smells like coffee with a little bit of a stinger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
After smell.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see, we kind of saw some brands like Adidas do different coffee stuff, like sneaker collabs this past year. I would like to see, just what people can do with shoes now is amazing. Like this says, like just all this different coffee waste. What people can do with shoes now is amazing. So I want to see what can you do next?
Yeah,
it's like that's kind of the society we live in. Like, all right, that's really cool, coffee sneaker. Now do it with something else.
Yeah.
Now do it with something else.
Uh-huh.
Now do it with something else. Like that's just kind of how the kind of society that we live in, and it's okay because it keeps people having a job to create something new and to obviously
Yeah, innovate.
kind of build off of it, innovate. Yeah, exactly.
But moving on, Landon.
All right, so this one's going to be props to you. So, NBA player Langston Galloway's Ethics shoe brand launches the LG1 basketball shoe. So, the Ethics shoe brand, co-founded with Langston Galloway's wife, Monica, was a result of an arduous process that began in his enrolling in the Harvard Business School and NBA's joint program crossover into business. So, after working closely with his footwear designer Brett Goliff, and a design industry vet who actually worked at New Balance and has kind of been in General Motors for over a decade, various rounds of product sampling with manufacturers, Langston has arrived at the LG1, the first ever launch for Ethics shoe brand. So obviously, like I said, I had to throw this in here because we have a pair on the way to review. I am excited about that. You pointed those out to me, so definitely props to you for that. So I mean, first off, go ahead and let me get what you think about the shoe before I kind of give you more info on it.
Honestly, what this shoe really reminds me of?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it reminds me of the women's shoe.
Oh, no, never mind. I did not know what you were going to say.
What is it called? The
Moolah Kicks?
Yeah, the Moolah Kicks, man. The straight white. You don't think so?
I really don't.
What do you think? What do you think it
I
looks like?
I thought you were going to say something along like Dame's line, or almost looks like the Kawhi Leonard shoe that we did.
I was going to say, it does have like a New Balance kind of feel to it. That's what I was thinking in my head too. Like it's a little bit of a Kawhi, but I don't know. The first thing I thought was, man, why do they always start out with like a plain white sneaker like Moolah? Moolah just came out
Well, this
plain
one's not
white.
plain white.
Well, this one's
This
white.
one's got a purple tint.
Oh,
I love it.
Purple
We're
tint.
literally purple as a color brand, so I would just bring it down a little bit on that
It's more
one.
gray to me. But
You'd have to look at at a different photo, but here
know.
I'll give you a little more info on it now. So, what separates the LG1 from other mainstream products is that these shoes are entirely hand stitched. So, this type of cut and sew
Really?
manufacturing is simply unfounded in the current landscape, just due to the mass production and practices. So, Langston himself has actually been playing in these and testing them for a year. So, obviously they're NBA ready, or I guess ready for me to go ahead and check them out. So obviously, you aren't super big into the basketball scene, like not nearly as much as I am, but in general, I do like. What do you think about this line also going forward from this LG1?
It's exciting. It's exciting to see that players in the NBA are now thinking like, I don't have to sign, like I have enough knowledge and I can actually make my own shoe and my own brand. I think that's a really cool concept. I think, but it's going to be tough, man, because you got some giants up there that it's usually just easier just to sign, quote unquote, your life away to
Just
one
like,
of these sneaker brands.
Who's buying these shoes? That's what I always turn around to is like, who are you targeting to buy these shoes? Just for my last couple of things for you before we keep opening up this conversation, but it's going to retail for $120, so it's like right around the middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought the first colorway, but there's already 5 others on the way. So this was just the first one, and I actually had to go a half size down because everything else is sold out. So whether that was just because they made one pair for each size or they actually were selling, there's some sizes we're selling out. So there's more colorways coming soon, and they're already working on the LG2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, they had
to.
the second shoe in process. So, like, with this first coming out, I guess they're assuming it's going to create something like this. It's something like that we talk about all the time with our business. Before you do something, you want to put something out there and make sure people are going to be interested in it.
Right.
Like we've talked about branching off and doing certain things, but before we would do that, we would want to make sure that there's someone out there that wants that to happen. So I'm assuming that if he's working on an LG2 and I go online trying to buy my size and it's not there, that maybe there are people interested in this shoe. And I don't know who his audience is necessarily. We haven't checked it out yet, so we don't know how good it is.
Right.
You got the hand stitched quality, but
yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens here, because really this is like one of the very first NBA player brands making their own shoe. I don't think there's many. I mean, you could maybe say Shaq, but Shaq was with Reebok way back then.
Yeah, and
I
you
mean,
got like
Curry's
people go with
Under Armour.
Some people go with that peak on Amazon too. Remember we reviewed
but
that, like the Lou Williams peak,
that's even
Gordon Hayward peak.
Right, but even that relationship. So NBA player finds a
Not creating
manufacturer.
their own brand.
You're right.
Yeah,
this is like their own thing. So I'm very excited to actually see these in hand. Hopefully they perform well.
Harvard Law School too. I think it's cool that he really took those steps and went into Harvard Law School, Harvard Business School.
And he's still an active NBA player, right?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, very impressive.
And he's not like,
Right.
Which makes me wonder, like, someone, I'm trying to think of a good example, not like a Klay Thompson, or like, I guess I can only really speak on, my team. I could speak about other players.
Right. He's not a superstar.
Just someone who's not a superstar.
Right.
He's a good player.
Right.
Not even sure that he'd, start on every team. Like, he's not even like one of those guys like, oh yeah, he'd definitely play. He's not an all-star.
How long has he been in the league?
Not forever. He's still relatively young. So that's the thing that
I was gonna say, is he a new kid just coming down the block and didn't get signed with any of these big ones? So he's like, I'm gonna make my own, or so.
Well, not super new, because something that I've like been listening to whenever I watch like breakdowns on different brands and like how to get it started and stuff is like, if you're gonna create a brand, you want to play within that sport for as long as you can to get more exposure.
Of course.
Like Tom Brady just created his TB12 line recently. And like all this different stuff like that.
He's had TB12.
No, he just had a new line and a new like method and stuff like that.
Oh, he did TB squared.
Exactly. So, and now they're saying, he could retire after this year. He could do this, but the incentive to not is you want to stay in the league longer where you're on the main screen, because if you're not playing on Sunday anymore, like, people will still talk about you, one of the greatest quarterbacks, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, but you're not going to be there. You're not going to be getting asked about questions. You're not going to be here and there. So you want to stay around and keep your exposure.
Yeah, the relative.
Like, just stay relative. So I'm assuming that he's going to intend to play for as long as he can, just to, continue to have that.
Yeah.
That maybe build his brand up a little bit more. So
well, I was going to say, shout out to Langston, because, this is a really, if the NBA, you never know, you can always follow with an injury or stuff like that. But I think this is a really cool plan B that's also helping right now with this NBA. There's nothing but good things to say about this shoe. I am excited about it.
You see that a lot more now, too, with people being within a career and also dipping their foot into what they're doing. You used to not see that. It's like, if you're doing anything about what's going on
they've gotten a lot
after
smarter.
life, like, you can look at it that way. The counter to that is like, if you're trying to worry about what's happening after your business and stuff like that, like, you're not maybe focused on what's going on the court between the lines. What if you have a bad game, but you're also working on your business? Or like, hey, focus on your basketball.
Yeah.
You just shot 2 for 20.
Yeah.
Focus on basketball. Stop worrying about your business. Stuff like that. So, there's like, it's a trickier scale to kind of balance now. Make sure you're not putting too much on one side or the other.
Well, luckily it looks like, his wife Monica is helping him out there.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm sure he's got like a smaller team.
Yeah.
I'm like, LeBron has probably another team specifically for his, footwear design.
100%.
So, I'm sure they have it delegated properly. But yeah, super excited. When do those come in?
They shipped already, so
it
should be coming in soon. That shoe review will be coming out pretty soon.
Coming out soon. I'm excited.
It'll
But
be fun.
Landon, wrap us up. What do we got? Oh,
well, no,
just
you got
kidding.
one more.
I got one more.
You got one
more article first. This one is kind of a sad article, but recently back in Miami, thieves have broken in and stolen over $100,000 worth of sneakers from a storage container. So in Miami-Dade, the search is on for these thieves who have busted locks and stole thousands of dollars of sneakers from dozens of storage units. Now, management told the victims that the thieves showed up around midnight and had hours to go through all of the pair of sneakers and steal only the most expensive pairs. So that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that the victims were never even notified of this happening until they actually went to their storage units and found out themselves. So, one victim said that after this, he is done collecting sneakers for good. So Landon, it's always hurtful to hear these things in the news, So what are your thoughts, and what would you do if someone just came in and stole your collection?
Oh my gosh, dude, that's so tough. So is this like at a storage facility?
Yeah, this is not like, like a Cube.
Says some GTA stuff. Yeah,
this is like a Cube Smart, one of those storage facilities you rent out a month.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they had like ski masks or something on if you can't verify the identity and stuff like that. And gosh, that's why I would not like houses don't get broken into. Houses get broken into,
right.
But I can't ever really see myself storing sneakers at a place that's not. Because that's the whole thing, say you have a short window when you it's not always a short window, but there's a short window that you want to get crime taken care of, like right after it happens.
Oh, yeah.
Like you got
sure.
the rule of 24, the rule of 48, if they're gone within this amount of time, you got like a 98% success rate of getting away with it.
Yeah.
If you catch it, you got in the first 24-hour window, you got like this success rate. if it's at a storage unit and you go to visit it once a week and you just went the other day and now 5 days later you go and realize because they weren't notified.
No.
So now you just realize like, oh, hey, my stuff got stolen. When was it?
Right.
Within the last
ago.
6 days.
Yeah.
It could have been yesterday. It could have been literally 5 days ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's so tough because it's just so easy if you think about it. There's people out there that are going to do that. You got to get somewhat lucky. I feel like it almost is targeted.
Oh, super targeted.
Because like,
How would you know?
You don't just bust open a storage unit and be like, what if someone's like storing like tools in there?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm going to take this toolbox and sell it for $15.
No, I think it's crazy. No, these guys knew what they were doing because they had hours and they sifted through and they left the bad pairs.
Crazy.
Can you imagine?
They must have had limited room.
Could you imagine if your favorite pair was left?
Like, how dare you?
Yeah. To be like, that was my favorite pair and you didn't even take that one? No, I'm kidding. No, it's a horrible story in general, but I don't know, man. I would understand why one victim's like, you know what, I'm done.
That makes you want to ship your stuff to someone that would actually like a sneaker
vault
place, like just
high
a
security
storage place. I don't know how
red lasers everywhere.
I don't know how common it is to like have storage units broken into, but honestly, it's got to be fairly common.
Do you think? Here's a follow-up question for this. Do you think that there are more sneakerheads with storage units full of sneakers than there are without? Or no? Do you think there is? Obviously, there's not. But
right.
Do you think there's a lot more people that actually have storage units full of sneakers?
Apparently, but I would never be one of those people. First off,
yeah, you over here buying a new house for sneakers.
Well, first off, are we talking climate controlled? Because you don't want to put it in.
I'm assuming it's like indoor climate controlled.
Yeah, because you can't just go to like a U-Haul place that's got storage and you just leave it. Yeah, it's gonna get moldy and it's gonna get nasty. So I'm assuming like a Cube Smart. Is that what it was?
I think it was. I think it was a Cube Smart location.
Gosh, dang, that's crazy. We gotta stop making jokes about it. But the Cube Smart that's like on the road kind of near us, you drive by it late at night and they have the fake security guard cardboard cutout who's just scares the crap out of me. The first time I thought it was an actual person.
Really?
He's literally just up in the corner with the lights on and it's just a security guard cardboard cutout just like standing like this. And I'm like, look, there's like 11:30. I'm like, how late does this guy stay here?
He's here every single day.
And then I did it a few more times and I was like, that is not a person. And it's not going to stop you from stealing, obviously, because it's a cardboard cutout. But it makes you wonder, like, security only works if you can get a Face ID. And a Face ID only works if you're just dealing with the dumbest person, dumbest criminal of all time.
Yeah.
Who's going to walk in there like, oh, it's probably not cameras. And even if there's probably not cameras, I mean, just thinking from the opposite side of it, wear a mask anyways, just in case. Don't show your face. And how hard is it to get into these? What's the security like? Like, how is something not tripped?
I don't know.
How is something not tripped?
I don't know.
And how are you not notified? Like, the whole thing is just like...
It's just terrible. It's a terrible article. Or
it's
terrible
a
news.
terrible
Not
article.
a terrible article, but it's a terrible news.
Yeah, it is really sad. I mean, you hate to see something like that.
Yeah, so hopefully those thieves get caught. But it's tough because they are sneakers. They're not like you can track them down, unless they're ultra rare and you see them on eBay or something. But if they're...
That's the one thing. I mean, like you've seen like player gives like their gloves, autographed gloves after a sporting event and they show up on eBay. You're like, oh, okay. Or this happens, but like a pair of shoes.
Yeah,
like you'd have to be talking just...
You would have to know.
You'd have to track it and be like, oh, it looks like this person's selling it out of the same city as I am, and it happened to be listed 2 days later, and it happened to be doing this. But
hopefully they got some
sell it on Stockx or sell it on Goat, and you literally are untraceable.
Yeah,
who's gonna see that?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he had like inventory of it too, and he could notify like StockX and say like, hey, these got stolen. If they ever come in,
no one's gonna. Oh, I was saying no one's gonna. That's
you never know.
I feel like at that point you're just like at that point you're just like, dang, this sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
Dang, this sucks.
Too bad he doesn't have that sneaker insurance like the one guy.
Yeah, sneaker insurance, man. It's a new thing. That was weeks ago.
Yeah, that was like one of our first episodes.
One of our first ones.
All right, but Landon, wrap us up. What do we got?
All right, so now it's time for our newest segment to end the show, Cop or Drop, where Chase and I will look at some of the scheduled upcoming releases and just kind of give our opinion on the design. So honestly, this is a really light week for releases from what I can see right now. So I'm just gonna start off with the shoe that released yesterday. So what are your thoughts on the LeBron 9 South Coast?
Definitely a drop.
No. I can't throw a basketball shoe to you.
Yeah,
these are a drop for me too.
Yeah, these are definitely a drop.
I almost got them.
It's cool. It's a retro, but it's a drop.
I almost got them to review them because it's a lot. LeBron 9 retro 10 years ago. LeBron 9 retro, and It'd be interesting because we did an article on this shoe like a few weeks back. Whenever like, ooh, LeBron's like retroing his shoes now and stuff like that.
Now it's here.
A lot of people are getting it, and I was so close to getting them, but we got too many reviews backed up right now. I'm sure they'll probably come
like
out
a performance review.
Huh? Yeah, like a performance review. It's a retro, so it's gonna be geared for performance. You gotta imagine.
You can buy it under retail.
LeBron 9 was a basketball shoe anyways.
True.
So I mean, just because even if it was the old version of it, but it's not, it'll have the updated, the updated stuff on there. But
I doubt though that they're marketing it towards a actual performance pair.
It's a basketball shoe.
Yeah.
It's
so was a Jordan 1.
Huh? Oh yeah, like 40 years ago. I mean, all these basketball shoes are like.
I'm just saying.
All these basketball shoes are basketball shoes. I just don't see LeBron's line. LeBron isn't a line for like. Casual stuff.
He's got the LeBron lows, maybe. I think he's got.
Yeah, he has some lows.
I think
I've never looked at LeBron's and been like, but I've honestly, I'm different because I see a lot of people wear LeBron's just like casually. And people like to do that. Whenever I was in middle school, so this is throwing it way back, I'd love to wear basketball shoes just like to school. Just like some random pair of basketball shoes. You see people work out in them a lot.
Yeah.
At my gym, I see people work out in LeBron's all the time. So I mean, it is like a performance shoe. I've seen them work out, obviously, in the newer versions, like the 18s.
But you don't see people walking around like in the mall with them.
Yeah, but we're actually going to stay on the basketball scene now. So, even more specifically, we're going to stay within LeBron's line. What do you think about we got the LeBron 19 Space Jam over there, whatever it is. What do you think about the LeBron 19 Christmas? It's supposed to drop tomorrow, I think.
Drop. This is also a drop.
Do you just
I don't like the
LeBron
I don't
model?
like the well first I don't like the 19 model. I think it's super blocky. Performance wise, it was better than the 18.
It was better.
I definitely would between the 18 and 19, cop the 18, drop the 19. I'm just gonna leave it at that. What about you?
Are we talking for appearance? Because I guess that's what you have to go. That's what the section is going to be based off of his appearance. I actually like this colorway a lot. I would cop these over the ones that we have. Oh gosh, maybe.
I don't know.
I think
yellow,
it's cool. It's like
red, blue.
How is this the Christmas color scheme? I think that's what we need to talk about more than the copper drop.
Black doesn't look anything like Christmas.
No, I don't understand. And it is labeled the Christmas. It has an alternate name.
Maybe it was supposed to release on Christmas, but it was. It doesn't.
It actually was.
Yeah.
So it honestly probably won't release tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it might. But it's like scheduled to release like really soon. But like I said, it was a light week. But all right, so this is gonna be a long shot. Because speaking of shoes that never release, Drake's Nocta Hot Air Step, Nike Hot Air Step Terra is on the calendar for the 27th. So it's likely to be delayed. But who knows how many times this makes it to be delayed. But what do you think about this Nocta Hot Air Step Terra?
This is gonna be my first cop.
No
I would
way.
actually cop this shoe.
I can see you wearing this shoe.
I think it's a pretty cool shoe. I like to get these in hand. What about you?
Yeah, I'd cop it based off of Drake alone. I think it's cool.
Off of Drake alone?
Oh, yeah, off Drake alone. I think he's supposed to have an Air Force One. They'll probably end up doing a copper drop on those if those ever drop. It's like a base. It's like literally an Air Force One, all white, but in the midsole, it's got like some text, some Drake text. And I forget what it says, but it's like a Drake quote or a Drake lyric within the midsole of the Nike, where the Nike Air is, on the midsole. It's like a lyric instead. And I forget what it is, but
is that the Certified Lover Boy?
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Oh, I thought those released. They never released. Oh, okay.
Nothing of his releases ever. So, this shoe it's not bad. It's not my favorite. Like I'm just more into the sleek looking stuff. If you look at it from different angles, it looks like it could be a little bit bulky. It's definitely like an older model. So I mean, it's definitely not bad, but I don't know. I'd say that I'm in love with it. But okay, we're gonna end this segment now with just a few restocks since there's really not much else going on. We'll kind of just rifle through these. But what are your thoughts on the Nike Dunk High Panda?
Drop. Dunk Low Panda, definitely cop. Super clean. Dunk High,
Just not big on dunk highs.
I just don't like dunk highs.
I'm gonna join you there. I'm dropping because it's too basic now. I feel like if I was gonna get a dunk, which I actually still don't have dunks. Speaking of models that I need to actually get and stop, you don't have anything. I don't have any. I don't have dunks at all. I got tons of Jordans, tons of Air Forces, tons of Jordan 1 lows, Jordan highs, Jordan mids, whatever. No dunks. So I need to get some. These are a drop for me too. There's two. If I'm gonna get a pair of dunks, these are not gonna be.
It's gonna be a low for sure.
I like the neutral idea of it. But definitely no. Yeah, Fresh said, imagine the OVO Air Force One. The OVO stuff is so cool. I'm telling you, Drake has got a lot Like he's got a really nice brand. The OVO hoodies. He's got like they have their own like OVO Toronto Raptors jerseys. Just like, oh gosh, such a clean design. So here we go. Finish it off. I'm gonna give you the last one here. What do you think about the Nike Dunk Low 75th anniversary Nets that we did get in? They're restocking this upcoming week as well.
Oh, they're restocking?
They are.
A
bunch of dunks are restocking, but I couldn't throw them all on here, so this is my last one.
So definitely cop.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice. Drop if you get anything besides a men's, because it doesn't look like it's a 75th anniversary.
The grade school didn't either?
I don't think the grade school did. No, whatever we got in didn't have. You remember we got the men's in.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure the GS didn't have anything.
Was it grade school?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to
and
remember.
We were shocked. We were like,
nice
what?
Because the one of them, either the grade school or the preschool sizes, doesn't get the Nets logo.
Yeah.
It's just got the color scheme.
I know for sure preschool doesn't.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But I'm pretty sure GS didn't get it either.
The color scheme's still nice.
I think it's a really clean shoe.
Yeah, I'm definitely cop on that one. It's a really nice design. The branding is cool. You got the diamond logo, all that stuff. Really cool design. But that is actually going to wrap up this episode for Laced Up 9. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch. But until next time, peace.